Hello friends, this is another video from Yrvind and XX, the Canoviol. Here I'm messing about with a few things. Here I'm the acetone, and here I'm doing a little thing of ropes. And with these things, they come out from here. I just wounded a rope around it and put some enamel epoxy with this filler in. And this is to, when I go back to Madeira soon, I will put it hanging on a rope. So when I'm swimming, I can easily get out, because it would be rather embarrassment if I can't get back up on the boat, you know. So this is what I'm doing here. And by being frugal, I take the brush, paintbrush, cut it in half. Then from one brush I get two. And here is another improvement. To get down into this, I make this longer. So this is how it goes, and there's the powder in this. With a little spoon, I can put it down. So this is how I'm working. And this is people drink beer from these things. So, filling up with more food in Madeira, I sailed across, and then the plan is now go try once again to go to New Zealand. Australia would be closer, but they gave me so much trouble with the visa. They say I have to phone to what they call it there, Canberra or something like that. And they don't have email, so I have to telephone. And they're awake when I'm sleeping, so, well, I try to go all the way to New Zealand. And the good thing with that is, I show you here on the globe, here we have Sweden up in the north, up here, and if you go to the other side, here we found New Zealand. It's like other way around. So this is the new idea. Yes, and then you can see my hair is cut, and that's the reason for that. Tomorrow is my birthday. If everything goes to the plan, I'll be 82 tomorrow. But you shouldn't take anything for granted. But things look like if it's gonna be like that, you know. So if you go into my website and do some donations, it will be very good, because I take good care of the money, you know, like splitting up the rushes and things like that, and being frugal with the money, driving my bike to the work, doing the haircut myself. And so, well, thank you very much for looking at this video, and it will be continued. Goodbye. Hello friends, today is Friday, 22nd of October, the year 2021. And now I'm doing a little bit more mock-up, but I have also been doing much work with cleaning up from the other boat coming back. And now I put up a little bit here, and I put up a little bit here, and it should be, I mean, you know, counting the centimeters to do very good. And here's 173, but the bulkhead's gonna be 3 centimeters deep in the cell. So I have to think about that too. And then some people say, well, why don't you even make a little bit boat bigger? But, well, I'll give you the explanation over here. So, long time ago, 1967, I have this boat, Anna, and here is in Sweden, on the island I was born on. And this is all small islands here. And first 67 I sailed it around Sweden and Denmark, and it was very good. I was happy with it. It's a little off deck, and here I could live in. And there was Eleanor and Martine, 2 French girls. And then 68, I started sailing to Denmark. I sailed to Germany. And people said, oh, what a small boat. You go all this way in a small boat. Better get a bigger one. And then I said to Holland, and everything went very well, you know, but people said, oh, what a small boat. Why do you have a small boat going so far? Better a big one. And then I sailed to Belgium, and then I sailed to England, and eventually I ended up in Cowes on Isle of Wight in England on the south coast. And the same thing, people were very friendly, but I was going to continue, but people say, no, it's too dangerous. The boat is too small, and also it has no comfort, and it doesn't have any speed, and if you get a bigger boat, it's more easy to get girls and things like this. Well, I thought, maybe I get a bigger boat. But I didn't have much money, so I thought, you know, Captain Joshua Slocum with spray. He found spray in a field, derelict, and he fixed it up. I said to myself, I find another wreck in Sweden and fix it up to a boat. I went back to Sweden. In November, I bought this. It was an old steam launch. It was made 1885. It had a lot of problems in being on Lake Vättern, and had a fire, and it was sinking to the bottom, and finally, you know, and lorry man brought it back to Göteborg, and then he gave it up. You know, it was too much work. It was 12 meters long, 40 feet, but I got it very cheaply. So I said, well, I fixed it up. And people said, they always said, now when it is going to be fixed. I bought it in November, and when a friend of mine, I said in May next year, I sailed to America in this. And they were like laughing at me, but working hard. It took more than May, you know. I'll forget this picture. But anyway, so in August was this. And then I sailed to England, and then to Madeira, and then to Canary Islands, and then down to Rio de Janeiro. And I realized, you know, big boat, big problems. So I thought to myself, I make a little boat instead. Less problem. So in my mother's basement, I built this boat. First, I thought I built it in the garden. But then the town planner came and said, do you got the permission? What do I need permission for? Well, he said, what would happen if everyone built a boat in their garden? It wouldn't work. So I was thinking a little bit, and then I asked him, what would happen if everyone was a town planner? Wouldn't work either. But then he only got angry. But my mother said, well, Sven, build it in the basement. Then he doesn't know what we're doing. And I started in midsummer 1971. 1972 it was ready. And 1974 I'm down here in Argentina with Janneke, a girl I found in Holland, or she found me, or we found each other. And now we're preparing to sail around Cape Horn. But down there was strong winds near Cape Horn. The boat capsized. A week later it was pitch pulled. Well, anyway, later I sailed to Tristan da Cunha, and then sailed up to St. Helena, to Martinique, USA, Azores, back to Sweden. And then 1983 I sailed to Newport in Rhode Island again, you know, so it's got a lot of things. So small boats are good. This is 6 meters long, 1.72 meter beam. And the new boat is 6.27, so it's like 27 centimeters longer, but it's more narrow. It's 1.4 meter instead of 1.72. And like the moral lesson is this: if you watch out for the pennies, the dollars will take care of themselves. If you watch out for the centimeters, the meters take care of themselves. So this is why the boat is not bigger. This is why I don't expand it. And a small boat is very handy and very good to have. So thank you very much for today, and have a good time. Hello friends, today is Tuesday, 26th of October, year 2021. I will now give you a bit of my seamanship background. I'm born on the windward side of a small island, and here is the picture of it. And about 100 years ago, my grandmother and her brother bought this peninsula. It was far from everything at that time, because the world's population was only 2 billion people. Now it's about 8, and there was like no pollution or anything like that. And here we had a little harbor, and here's the rowing boat. I rowed across here, and here was the food shop. We could buy milk and stuff like that, and then I rowed back, and that's how I learned it. And the grown-up said, you have to know how to tie a knot, and you have to know how to swim 50 meters. And then that was the permission. And that was a long time ago, because like 80 years ago. And here is the modern picture. This is our house, my grandmother, my mother and me, and also a little shed, and here's the thing, and here is another little place, and here we had a few islands too. And here is my grandmother's brother's house. And this was a really nice place. And this was our house. And it was just 50 meters from the water. And here's the terrace, and here's looking east. And here is the little harbor. And here's the rowing boat I learned in. And I went out either this way or either this way, and rowed across here and up in here between. And then I got to buy the stuff, and then I rowed back. I didn't have to carry things. Now let's see it. And 2 times a week the fishermen came. Here he had a live fish. And my grandmother knew eating fish, you become intelligent, because fish is always in school. And he came twice a week and had all kinds of fish and crabs and lobsters and eels and whatever he found in the water. And like I said, it was very fresh. He came right out from the water. And it was like the old times. Here is my grandmother doing the laundry. We had a well here, and with the fire, driftwood, we made a fire and heated up the water. And here is the basins, and she did that, and everything became clean. No washing machine. And here is our little cow. Well, unfortunately, it was during the war, or most of the things happened. And my father was a captain of a ship, and when he came to Hong Kong, the English sunk his ship because they said it was good for the war. Maybe it was good for the war, but it was not good for us. So my mother had to start working, but there was no work on the island. So she got herself a little powerboat, like this one, and every day, whatever weather it was, except stormy weather, she drove into Göteborg and worked there. And to know a bit more about the navigation and things like that, She got like Coast Guard license, and this was, she born 1917 and it was 1949. She got this, and not many women did that. So this license is for him. It was a she, but you know, they wrote him anyway, because at that time was not women doing this thing. And this is in my mother's kayak, but that was really too little for it. It was mostly the rowing boat, but this is in the cove. And here's our house, and it was just 50 meters to the water. And here is a few small rowing boats. So this is how I learned seamanship in small boats. But then something terrible happened. When I was 7 years old, how can I tell you? I came to school. I was very curious. I like to learn things. But we have to learn the names of the town in Västergötland. We have to learn the rivers in Halland. I couldn't learn it. So when I came back to school, teacher said, Sven, now what's the name of this? I don't know. So they beat me up and they said, now tomorrow you know it better. And it didn't work. So for 4 years, you know, the teacher was beating me because I was dyslexic. They found out later. But my mother was a smart woman, and she found out there was a school, a boarding school, far away, you know, 8 hours on the train. And there was modern methods. And the children were friendly, and the teachers were friendly, and everything was okay. And here I packed my suitcase, and here my grandmother taking me to the boat, to the mainland, and then I have to go to the train, and I got my suitcase, and my knife is there, you know, just in case. And this is a little bit about the background and how I learned to navigate. Okay, thank you for today. Hello friends, this is Yrvind doing video just by himself because it's Saturday and Peter is away. So I'm gonna go through a hole here. Here I'm coming. See me? So this is the center board mock-up. And while I'm here, I'm gonna put the hand. So how to do this? So the hatch is here, and now I'm going to go up here. So this is not easy, but I'm not doing it because it's easy. I'm doing it because it's interesting. So now I'm coming up and turning off the camera. So I'm doing a mock-up for the center board for the G10 laminate, or rather G11. Hello friends, It's number 20 of April, and 22nd is my birthday. And now I got a new chart, and my plan route is going down here, passing 50 South, around Cape Horn and 50 South. And I plan to land like here or like here. And now I got a new chart. This little island here is just as big as my finger. In reality, it's like this big. It's 3 times as big as our biggest island in Sweden, Gotland. And it's 3 times as many people living here. But also up here, it's Valdivia, and here's some islands and things, and it's 2-3 rivers coming down here. But it's plenty of rain and things that is, but this is a much more down to earth living here, you know, where they grow things and they do fishing and then cows and things like this. And it's many little, here is the Castro, is the capital, and here is, you know, many islands and islands here too and here. And this is like 10 miles between my fingers here, 10 nautical miles. It's like a big area, you know, and here up here is Portomont. It's a big city. So it's big. And now we have some extra special today, I show you. This is Captain, and he is helping to defend our country in the Home Guard. And his specialty is killing tanks. What do you do? Explain to them what weapon you're using.
No, I keep that out of YouTube.
What?
No.
So if the Russian tanks come here, we can feel safe in a big area around here in Västervik. And okay, we thank you very much, Peter, for helping me. And not only that, but here is the whole thing, is like the military man. It's just a few days a year, or when it's important things. Then it's a big fire and they lose people and all these things, then he comes up and help.
Yeah.
Hello friends, today is 22nd of April, a big day. I'm now 83 years old. And most of my classmates are now dead, soon more than half is done. And these things get developed. These boots, it's like this, first model, and then came this model with the twin keys. And then came this one with the deck house out, a bit more good and things like this. And now I ask for your help. I would greatly appreciate if you do support and donate to X-Ray Canoe. You go into the Yrvind.com and then you find a donation button and you can do that. And well, this would be greatly appreciated for the future. Thank you very much. Hello friends, this is me and Peter, and today I was a bad surprise. When I was going home for lunch, was a puncture on my bicycle. And this is a spare bicycle. And the other one is for repair since December. And Corona has made it impossible to get spare parts for the bicycle. But luckily I have another bicycle, a spare one, a second spare one. So one of my friend, Axel, I play table tennis with almost every day. He lives in the same house, he's 22 years old. He drove me home. I live in A, he lives in B, so that's the same thing. But then, that bicycle was also punctured on. The tire was outside the rim, and then I had a fourth bicycle. You know, redundancy is a good thing. So even on land I have redundancy, and now Peter has driven it to the Elizabeth who repairs bicycles, and now she's gonna fix this. So that's not that. But yesterday, 5 of September, I made a video about my solar panels here, and like maybe I have a little electric engines, and I'm gonna have lead batteries because I thought it was too dangerous with the lithium batteries. But there have been many comments, and I thank you for that, about that. And they all say it's lithium iron phosphate, LiFePO4. They are not dangerous. So, well, can I trust them? I don't know. But you know what the rats do? I am believing the philosophy of the rats. So if they find some new food, what they do? They ask, who is the oldest rat here? And then one man puts up his finger and says, I'm the oldest one, I volunteer. So we go in, he eats the new food, and then they all, with patience, wait 24 hours, one day. And if he still survives, they all start eating that. So now, I'm not gonna get the batteries now. I will wait 1 year. I keep my eyes open and my ears open, and I wait for reports on the lithium iron phosphate. Is it good? And then I do maybe a test run, and then I wait another year, and then I make the decision. Hello friends, yesterday the video was about me sailing from Ireland, Dingle, to the Dunedin in New Zealand. That was a change of plan, means more water is needed. So how to do that? But I'm like born under a lucky star. Luck has struck me again. And now, under here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times 3 liter. Plus here I have water, here I have 6 liter water, 6 liter water. And now, where should I keep my feet? It just fits there. Now I want to get this up. Wait. It should really be with a string there. Like that. Now, can you imagine what luck? Exactly, I need extra 60 liters. And each of them are 5 liter, or I can fill with 5.5. And now I got extra 66 liters, and it just fits it as good as you can. And I will put some strings around it. And once they are drinking up, I move them, and I put them here. So, then I have, if I drink 0.9 liters every day, I will have for 190 days. And I think that's the time it takes for me to go to New Zealand. It's like 14,500 nautical miles from Ireland. And hopefully I'm going to make a rain catcher too. So if I get rainwater, it's extra. And so, and also, do you know what's happened? I'm lucky. I got comments on my thing, and the people in Dunedin, they say they're gonna get me a good reception and get me ice cream. So when I see, I'm sailing, I'm in the orange storms and it's trouble and things like that, and then I think, where I'm going? Well, I'm going to Dunedin. And what's happening in Dunedin? Is people are gonna give me ice cream. I will keep fighting. Okay, thank you for this. Hello friends, today is not about this boat, but it's about all the people. Many people ask, how much does it cost? How long does it take? Well, this is a motivational speech, and I say, don't worry about cost, don't worry about the time it takes. It's the motivation, it's the interesting thing. And here we have a Frenchman, a French postman, Ferdinand Cheval, Facteur Cheval, a postman. And one day he was out walking and he stumbled on a little stone. And he picked it up and he looked at it. Oh, what a beautiful stone, he said. He put it in his bag and then he said, I will build something beautiful with this. And he collected it, and next day he found more stones, and then he built this Palais Ideal, very big, you know, and it took him 35 years to do it, and here it is too. And so, first people thought he was really crazy, but then now this French monument, and it's gone to the culture, Palais Ideal, Facteur Cheval. And here is, I take myself in this book from 1971, 1968, I bought this hull. And I was Sven at that time, and I got it for next to nothing. It was 40 feet long, 12 meters, and here it is again. And here it was like empty, and but I kept working. And then I bought it in November, and it was ice and everything like this. But in August, test sailing it. And then here in 1969, 70, we were down in Rio de Janeiro. I met even a girl in the Canary Islands, and she was good to steer, and she helped me. So, and if you get something difficult, don't worry. Here we have on this. Divide and rule, or divide and conquer. It's the same as if you have a difficult problem, divide it into smaller jobs. Then it's good on. Because say, well, if you want to build a boat, maybe the first step, you try to make the frames. You can always do that, it won't cost much. Then you take the next step, and if that's too expensive, do a part of it, and in the end, you succeed. So, don't ask what it will cost, don't ask how long time it will take, just take one little step at a time, you know. Even a 1,000-mile long journey starts with one step. So this is just for today. Thank you. Hello friends, now I'm inside the boat, and here is the hull inside. It's not already done yet, and you see it's nice and flat. And most boats are speaking about building materials, but if you use sandwich construction, it's like thick. So thickness gives stiffness and increases very rapidly. And if you don't have thickness, you put in frames. Most boats have frames. Wooden boats have frames, plywood boats have frames, steel boats have frames, aluminum boats got frames. But it's a problem with the frames. They have built, they are in the way, you know, and then you have to cover them, you have to put a lining. But so what I'm going to tell in this video is that I'm very surprised that people don't use sandwich construction. It's so good, it's expensive material in itself, but the cost of the materials is just a small portion of the finished boat. And then you can save so much later, and you got insulation, you got flotation, and also a sandwich construction like this material is inert. And now, for example, is the concept of energy. People don't think about that, but wood. Where does wood come from? It comes from really no sunshine, no trees. So you need trees, and what is sunshine? That's energy. So wood is filled with energy. And these little bugs and rats, they love energy. So they attack the wood and they eat it up. So we get the rats away and it's gone, and the real worms, they all like wood. And in a way it's the same with aluminum. Aluminum is really dirt or wood, they dig it up on the ground and then they put in plenty of electricity. So it's just filled with electricity, and then it becomes aluminum. And that's why the same thing with steel. It's really, rocks, they heat up, and that becomes steel. But then it can rust and things like, and then you try to protect this, like stainless steel. Here it got a little surface on it, so oxidized, and that prevents further. And that's the same with aluminum. They've got a thin layer on that, but it's very easy to damage that. And you get electrolysis and things like that. So composite is really very, very good, and I'm really very, very surprised that people don't use it more. That people are building wooden boats and building aluminum boats and steel boats, and some people even build concrete boats. And so this is a good thing, this dividend cell, epoxy, and the thing with epoxy, you mix two things and it gets hot. It gets warm. It's a chemical reaction, and so that means that when it gets warm, it doesn't have energy anymore. It's already disappeared. So it's inert. It doesn't react with anything, it's just like that. So thank you. Hello friends. Now this is a new idea. This is the safety stirrup. So I can put it here. I can go like this. Very fine. It's a good thing. So I'm gonna have a swimming ladder, bathing ladder, but also it's gonna be back here. But in this hatch, when I'm standing up here, I don't really think I will fall out. But you never know. I always have the line on myself. Not everyone believes in lines. Once I was in the Falkland Islands and came down a girl from America to me, and she wanted to do a bit of sailing and learning, and so she was going on to the foredeck and do the whisker pool. And I told her, you have to have the safety line on. No, she read Lynn and Larry Poddy. They say, you shouldn't have a safety line, because then you don't pay attention to holding on. And then once you forget the safety line, and it comes away when you fall in the water. Well, she read that, but I said, now this is my boat, and now I'm the captain here, now you're gonna have it. And she went on the foredeck, and she did work in the whisker pool, and she fell in the water. But she had a line on her. I fished her up, and now she was good with safety line. So I'm standing here with safety line. I don't think I will fall out, but I might do that. But here is this mast, and the swimming ladder is back there. So now, on the previous boat, I made this one, a stirrup. But now, I made even a better one. I made this little one. And now, this is a small, so I can have one here, and I can one there. So even here, and I can one there, and one there. So I can have 4. It's just a very neat thing. And first I did with 2 ones, but then I had a problem to get it centered. That's okay, I have 1 line here and 1 line there. But anyway, so I put it, that I get them good here. I put a little rope in here with a constrictor knot, and then with the needle I fixed it. So now it sits where it should be. But they're gonna be with 3, like this ones. So once again, good thing. Like Tarzan and the monkeys. Or the apes, Tarzan and the apes. Well, good thing. And not only small boat can have it, but even big boats is important. So if you work on the foredeck and you have a boarding ladder in the back, but then there's the shrouds here, you can't get back. You're here and the big boats making bigger speed and higher up. So, thank you Peter and thank you everyone. Hello friends, here is the hatch. Now these ones and these ones are in place. And in strong weather, I can attach it with extra ropes. Like this little one here, I don't think I will do it. But it's always nice to know that it's a possibility if I have to stand here a long time near the shore. This one here, this is really strong and good. This is as hard as it can sit. And then take it with this. Go down. Hello friends. And now I open it. Well, seems to work well. It comes over a little bit here, but that's okay. I can let it further down if I like, but I think this is good enough. And then strong weather. Here. Like this. It's really hard. Good. So, well, it's not the best solution, but it's a solution because here, if I put it up here, stands high like this, and I can't see forward. And here back is the missile mast. Can't use it there, so it's not much to choose from. And Peter, what do you think of my hatch here?
I don't know. Maybe it will work, but there's plenty of ropes.
Plenty of room. Hey, Peter doesn't know how to make knots. He comes from the lands. Okay, thank you. Hello friends, this is Yrvind. And this is X-Lex. And I make changes to it. Here is the one big change. Rub braid been cut. And the swim ladder is there instead. Here, before, it was twin keels. Now it's a central so rudder was of bronze before. And now the keel is bronze and central. It's just 10 centimeter deep. And then when I do changes, not everyone agree. They think you should stick to a plan, and you make a plan up and then you follow it. and then you make quick boat, and the boat comes in the water sooner. And but then, so what in the boat in this sooner? Shall I start building another boat? No, it's quick. People say it's good when it's quick. And the same thing when people sail across the ocean, they go with big speed. Nowadays, it's common they sail across the Atlantic in 2-3 weeks. And what are they going to do later? Well, they sail across another Atlantic. Well, I don't think it's such a good thing. But then there's another thing. I'm not only building boats, I'm also writing books. And here is books have been written. Först med Bris mot Kopon, en Bris, den konstruktören, den unge, den gamla havet, den med 4 kvadratmeter segel och en åra. These books are in Swedish, and now I'm too busy building boat to deal with that. But 2 of them been translated to Norwegian and 1 to Russian. I can't read Russian, but I think it's called Sven, Yrvind in Russia. And I don't know the rest, but there's not many who buy this book. But it comes from, I don't know. Here's the address, maybe. So anyway. But the curious things about writing book, that you should change, is called editing. First you make an outline, and then you write a draft, and when the draft is done, you edit it. And then you notice that this and that could be better, and you edit it another time. And if you write a novel, soon the characters starting get a life of their own. So what the author has to do, if he's a creative one, he just let them be in charge. Well, the same with my boat. After a while, he takes on a life of his own. And he kind of tells me, it will be better if this is done this way. Well, I think a good boat builder should follow the wish of the boat and do what he says. So that's why I do the changes. If the boat tells me, well, it's not so good to have twin keel here, well, I do the center one. If the swim ladder tells me, well, this will be better in the other way, that hinge you did there was not a good one, and I do a different one. So I'm working on the hinge here, and there's a gap here, but the boat told me that's okay. So that's what I do that. So writing books, you should change. Building boat, you should not change. That's what people think. It's okay think. But I don't agree. I have 2 things I can do. I can write books and I can build boats. And each of my things profit from the other one. So if you can do one thing, that's a good thing. If you can do 2 things, it's more than twice as good, because each skill learns from another. So this is just a little for today, and I continue building. Hello friends, now I made a thing for my training. And I think if I can do this, I can go sailing. Because if I fall in the water, I can just pull myself up. So now I made this the other day, and I have one at home too. Well, thank you. Now, a good thing is, not far from here is a place called Santiago de Compostela. It's here, in fact. I don't know if you can see, but it's just here in the same corner. It's just 70 kilometers from Muxia. And what they offer is forgiveness of sins. So, well, most people done some sins, you know, but down there, Santiago de Compostela, a lot of pilgrims coming through the whole world, making a long walk, and their sins can be forgiven. And also, not only that, they can do miracles on your health. So if you have some issues with your health, you can go to Compostela, and we can stop there, you know, to have this thing done with the sins and with the health, and then it's here.